Hey guys, how's it going? Renee and Michael here. We are coming to you today to give you a little bit of recap on a recent event we did at the AME 4th District Spiritual Transformation Convocation event that was held in Naperville, Illinois.
Yep, and so we'll talk about that and just kind of catch up on what we've been up to in the past couple of months. So.
Alright guys, so occasionally we are vendors at different on-site events, and normally the AME Church is one event that we do a couple of times a year at least. And so about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we did the Spiritual Convocation event in Naperville, Illinois. So this time we had a new setup that we were trying out for the very first time, and just wanted to let you know how that went.
Yeah, and so I'll try and drop in some still photos as we're talking about it, but basically what we did is we went from our basic 6-foot table to a closet organizer setup. So basically what we had was 2 racks that basically had 4, I don't know what you call it,
4
display
different
bars.
sections.
Yeah. So just like at a department store, you have shirts and tops up top, and then you'll have bottoms down below. That's the setup that we had. And so our system has 2 sections on one side, one kind of a skinny rectangular section in the middle, and then a mirror of the other rack or on the other side. And so what we went with was a men's section or unisex, which had polos and button-ups. We had a youth section which had mostly YPD items and hoodies, and we had a ladies section where we had mostly t-shirts and polos, but that had more WMS and lay sort of graphics on it, and
just general Christian
stuff. And then our last section was for outerwear, where we had our higher priced jackets and totes and things like that. Oh, and then hats. So that was what was really different. So we figured, so typically, I should say, let's bring you in on this. So we will typically take a few items pre-made and then mostly take orders. So
and press on
site. Yeah, so we had been doing that for maybe the past 7 or 8 years, probably, and it always did well. And I want to say each event we did, we probably ended up making a little bit more money than the last.
Yeah.
But this time we just thought, you know, what if we didn't have to take equipment? You know, what if we could just pre-make some stuff and see how that's sold? And if we display it differently, maybe it would be a lot easier for people to kind of get it. They can shop on their own, find the item that they're looking for in their size on their own time, and then they can just bring us the item back and we'll bring it up for them. So I would say all in all, this did work, but we still need to refine the process a little bit more. Yeah.
So it was a lot easier just for us not having to press shirts, because previously we would write out a little receipt. The person would tell us what they wanted. We give them a little receipt. They would pay for it and then come back later after we made the item to pick it up. And we could get backed up really quickly doing that. Yeah. And I know there's been times where we almost literally stayed up all night trying to finish all the orders. So, although I can see pros and cons for both ways, because you're not wasting shirts that people don't buy if you make it as they order. But at the same time, that takes a lot of time. You're having to haul around equipment and all of that. So I do want to give a shout out to the YouTube channel, the Monogram Mompreneur. That's where we saw this idea of the closet organizer and just some of the different things that she did at an event that she had. and I really liked the way that it looked. It was more organized, and
it gave you like a little store feel, almost like, you know, like I'm walking into a retail space, almost.
So all in all, it went well. A couple of things that we kind of discovered that we wouldn't do the next time is, number one, I think we took too many t-shirt designs, and we noticed that people gravitated towards whatever they saw on the mannequins. So we had several mannequins on the table, and we would rotate the garment that was on the mannequin, but that seemed to be the one, what got the attention is whatever was on the mannequin. And we had so many designs, I don't think we had time to rotate all of them. So take fewer designs, it helps.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Yeah, so I think what we would do in the future is kind of take the bangers. So take everything that you know you're getting a lot of hits on, and then, you know, kind of do your sizes that way. So then when people are looking through the racks, they're not expected to see something different. Really, I think the best idea is that you don't want them looking for the designs, you want them to looking for the size that they want. And so even though we had size dividers up there was so much visual noise, I think, in each rack that it was a bit overwhelming, and it almost lost its potency a tiny bit. And so, like, for example, in our ladies rack, there was so much neat size that people couldn't really see the designs too much. They would have to really, you know, pull the shirts apart and kind of look and see, like, oh, this is this. And as soon as I flip to the next shirt, it's a completely different design.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think we had enough of each design at each size. And so when we ran out, there was basically just the leftovers there. And it kind of looked a little picked through, and it didn't give people a whole lot to keep, you know, checking out, because they had already bought through all the hot items or the stuff that people were really looking for. So I'm definitely saying probably a little bit less designs, and then take as many of the items that you're going to display, you know, in all sizes. I think that'll be big.
And then the other thing that we discovered was, like, our sleeper hit was the lapel pins.
Yeah.
So this was was this our first time or second time?
This is our second time.
Lapel pins.
Yeah, with the lapel pins.
Wow, people! I had no idea that lapel pins were that popular. And these are our own designs. So we created these designs. And one question I had is, I didn't know if it would be widely accepted, because they are our designs. They're not necessarily like the official church design. But boy, let me tell you what, people were really all over the lapel pins.
These are flying off the shelf.
Then we also did a tie clip. The tie clip was not as popular. I did have one person who said they would prefer it in gold. This is kind of a silver, a brushed silver look. But boy, we really found out that the lapel pins were popular.
Yeah. So one thing that we were thinking, we got a little bit of feedback from one of the guests, because this was the first time we had embroidered polos at an event, and we thought that would be a really big hit, and it turned out not to be. And what one guy was saying is that he had so many tops, so many polos already that he doesn't wear, that he just didn't want to add another one. And that really does make sense, because if there are, say, maybe 10 AMB in-person events a year, most of them all have vendors, and a lot of people like to buy stuff from the vendors, you know, whether they're being nice or just wanting to support. And if you've been in the AMB church for 20 years, imagine how many t-shirts or polos or whatever you've amassed over that time. And it's just like, I don't really have room for any more. So that did make us kind of pause and think about what we want to do for future events, or if we want to have, you know, as many items as we've had, because demand for apparel, AMB branded apparel, may be kind of waning as the older generation, you know, obviously continues to grow and mature, and we're not really replacing some of those younger members. But that also may be why the pin was such a good idea, because this is something that people can just throw on to their existing garments and still have a bit of branding on them. So I got to imagine that, one, it being $10, it's something that they can just grab really quickly, and it's something that they can add on to their own wardrobe without, you know, having to sacrifice another AME item or something like that, another church branded item. Just grab a pin and you can swap that pin on any jacket or hat or shirt or anything like that you might want.
Yeah, so that turned out to be really, really good. So that was our event. And anything else?
So yeah, that was that live in-person event. We just want to talk about our next in-person event, which is not AME themed, but we will be doing another press on-site event with another company who reached out. So if you all remember, I want to say maybe about 2-3 months ago, we did another catch-up video where we spoke about how we were, I don't know which one to call it, assigned or commissioned maybe to do the print on-site event for Choose Chicago. And when we were there, we met someone in the HR department of another company based out of Chicago who thought that this would be a good idea as well. So they reached out, they've contacted or contracted us to do another press on-site event. And so we're going to try and bring a little bit different setup this time, a little bit more flair. And of course, we'll do kind of a breakdown and a recap of that event once we get back as well, just to kind of keep you guys abreast of everything that we got going on here.
Yep. So
here's all of that.
So that's kind of been the exciting so far. Be sure to check out, we do have another video coming out regarding our adventure with applying to be officially certified as a minority-owned business. Yeah,
that was quite a doozy. That's taken a lot of our time and energy over about the past month. So check down below, or either click the tile in this video. We'll probably have it linked. We're starting a new video series on that whole journey there. So follow us there, check in there if you're interested in getting certified as a minority-owned business.
And let us know if there are any particular topics you want us to talk about or subjects. We'll have some more like hands-on to-do videos coming up soon, and just any other thing regarding apparel decoration we can help with.
Yeah, folks, check in with us. Yeah, tap in, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions, or kind of point you in the direction of where you might be wanting to go in terms of growth for your own print shop.
All right, guys. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All righty.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.